Hey guys, it's Eric here at Farpoint Restorations and Repairs. Check it out. The fine folks over at Ancel were kind enough to send this my way to review. It's the Ancel DS700. Now, what we're going to do here is take it out of the box, we'll charge it up, we'll get it updated, and then we're going to take it out to a car and roll through all the features and functions. If you remember, a couple of years back, I did a review of the Ancel X7, which is one of their entry-level tablet-based scan tools. I like it. I've still got it somewhere in here, and I use it every now and again. A little slow by modern standards, but for a DIYer or a weekend mechanic, this thing was actually a pretty good tool. So I'm hoping that this being their top of the line, this is literally the best thing they sell. The DS700 is their higher end tools for more professional work, that we're going to see that kind of that professional level of workmanship. So let's give that a shot here. We're going to get it out of the box. So here's the case it comes in. It's a whopper, nice big blow molded case. Definitely not gonna hurt it if you have to drop this thing. So let me get the camera closer and we'll open up that box and see what's inside. All right, let's go ahead and open this thing. It's the first time me seeing it here. Cool, all right. So it does look like it has a spot for a J tool if you had a programmer, and I didn't see that on their website, but perhaps they offer that as an upgrade to this. Let's see. Manual here, user's manual. All in English, and yeah, looks pretty decent as far as explaining it. Oh, they have some options as well. Looks like you have key programmers. Yeah. All right, now this is cool. We have an Ancel printer, a work light, borescope, and a module deck for it. So, yeah, that's neat. Thermal imager, scope breakout box. Good Lord, this thing's got it all. Battery tester and wireless TPMS. So very fully featured scan tool from the looks of it. Android 10 system, 4 gig of memory, 64 gig of storage, 6,000 milliamps, 10-inch screen, rear camera's 8 megapixels, Wi-Fi, LAN, Bluetooth. I mean, this is one of their higher lines, that's for sure. Okay, in the box over here we got our Bluetooth dongle for OBD2, so 99.9% of the cars you're working on, this is what you're going to use. But it does look like it comes with some other stuff here. This is, I think, BMW. It's been a while. And Mercedes is in here as well. I'll put that back. There we go. And then, well, let's go through the stuff up top here first. Let's see what else we got. All right, so we got bunches of stuff. Wow. Yeah, let's go ahead and get this out of here. So we have not one, but we have an, oh wow, old school USB micro charger and a USB mini or USB-C charger. And here's connectors for some of the stuff we're going to be using. So if I'm going to hook up to some of this, oh, I see what we got here. So we're going to plug that into that. And then that goes into that, and then you have to hook up power here. That is pretty cool. I don't think I've ever seen a Bluetooth OBD1 connector. So that's awesome. That's awesome. More, different styles. So this covers all your basic stuff. There's part of our power supply. Yeah, here's our jumper wire for the OBD1 stuff. It's funny, I just got rid of my last OBD1 stuff, or car. That is GM 12 pin. Looks like there's a Chrysler one in there. So very full featured when it comes to coverage. And then the little power cord here has a variety of fittings for different countries. There's the US one. We'll go ahead. We can install that. I'm a mechanic. I should be able to do this, okay? There we go. So there it is. Right, USB on the bottom. Let's take a look at the other side here. And more fittings, just blow molded case with various OBD1 fittings. Cool. All right, well, I'm gonna just go ahead and get this out. We'll clear everything else off the table and we'll take a closer look at the tool itself. But initially, what do you see? That's a big honker. That's 10 inches. I love it. I love it. I think it should be the new norm to have 10-inch screens on these things. Most mechanics are aging out of this industry, and younger guys aren't taking the reins, so you might as well cater to the older group. We do have a nice dock or like, you know, a kickstand for it. We can also hang it off a steering wheel, which is really nice. This is heavy. That's metal. This is blow molded, like softer rubber. Up on top, power button, I/O ports, so probably our USB ports. Yeah, and it's got two. So a charger, a USB-C and a USB. On the back here, other than these kickstands, which I see, there's our rear-facing camera. Okay. All right, let me get all this out of here. We'll take a closer look. So boot up time's not the fastest I've seen, but this may be the initial startup. Well, you know, time will tell on that. A lot of times you got to go through 10-15 minutes of registering the device and all that. So that's probably what's going on here, is as it first wakes up and realizes it's going to get used here. Came with a fully charged battery, which is nice, and it's asking for Wi-Fi. We're going to say we're in English. We'll get that Wi-Fi stuff set up. All right, and here is the main screen, and it's beautiful. I love it. Really nice looking here. So diagnostics, intelligent diag is if you wanted to do remote diagnostics. Quick check of the systems, OBD, like generic side, maintenance. Wow. Okay, we got a ton going on here. So these are the many things that it can do in maintenance as far as like window initialization, tire change of size, transport mode. I don't even know what sus is. Motor angle calibration, NOx sensor, or not NOx, but NOx sensor. OBD2 is like odometer stuff. That might be like resetting odometer after a replacement. Seat calibration, start-stop systems, sunroof. Wow, there's just, I mean, it just keeps going. Immobilizer work. AdBlue. Gosh, yeah. DPF regen. Yeah, it's all there. I mean, I don't think they're missing anything. If you think they are, let me know what it is and we'll figure it out. TPMS mode. Okay, so they haven't released the module, so it just says coming soon. Remote assistance. We have a store. Let's go in there and see what we got. Okay, so they haven't set that up yet either. Interesting. Our file repair stuff. Repair info. That should be coverage list, materials, probably like how-to stuff. And then feedback. So you do see a lot of times with these things that you end up with problems where you're like, oh, that didn't work, and you can email Ancel with the feedback stuff and say, hey, I was working on a 2011 Volvo something or other, and I tried to get into ABS and it crashed the whole thing. That way, when they do the next update, they're able to go in there and fix that. So that's really cool. Let's see. What I want to know is, can we get into the subsystems? I want to see if I can get into Android. Oh, it's upside down now. That's interesting. Okay, so we don't want that. We can go into that. And we have serial number, font size is nice, so I can make it a little bigger, just so it's easier for us to read. Yeah, we'll do that. Well, there it is. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let it do some updates, and then we're going to go outside and hook it up to a car and see how well it performs. Let's do it. Well, here we are in the car. Let's see if I can sit on this thing in a way. There we go. That's pretty good. All right, let's go into diagnostics. And let's do this. So we are going to go into Asian. I'm sitting in a 2011 or 2010 Toyota Sienna. So let's see here. Connecting to the Bluetooth device. Loading. And we are looking at 16 pin. So just regular OBD2, but you can see it did offer, depending on the model, hey, is this a custom? Is it like a 93 model or something like that? We're going to use the half moon shaped Toyota Lexus connector. And now it's going to search out the content of the car. Okay, with laser cruise, vehicle stability. And let's see. Oh, cool. So this does have topology, right? Well, we have our main system and all our subsystems. We can look at it as a list if we want to. We can take a look at service functions. And in the service functions, we have oil light reset, throttle reset, seat calibration, cruise control standards, immobilizer and key programming, that's important, and ABS bleed information. Let's go back to topology and let's do a smart scan of all the systems. This might take a minute or two, but it's going to roll through and read codes for everything we got here. That's pretty snappy. Cool. So it has detected every system but the TPMS system. It's saying not equipped, but it is equipped, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe, remember in the shop when we went into that, it was saying in the future. So you might have to have the add-on for that to work. But let's do a report on this so I can show you here. This is pre-repair. We can put notes in here. We can put our odometer. We're just going to skip. I can put my shop information in here, but right now we're just going to skip that. It's going to generate a report for us, and here is the report. So it says shop name, vehicle information, and then each one of these that has an exclamation point. We have a laser sensor fault here, and laser cruise has a fault as well, right? And the rest of them, they look good. So we can save that to a file. We can email that to a customer if we want to. Yeah, we could go to share and actually send that to somebody by email or over Bluetooth. How interesting is that? So I'm not going to do that, but you could just fire off a PDF to the customer. That's pretty sweet. All right, let's go back and let's get into a system. We'll enter it. This will bring us into the main computer. And again, we can read our fault code. And here it is, laser sensor, right? We can look at a freeze frame. There's no data for this particular code. We can press code search and go on into the internet. It boots up Google immediately. And there's your repair stuff. Random code, easy fix. What does this error code mean, So I love that. That's pretty cool that it can do all that stuff, like just goes right out there. And then we can go into data stream if we want to right from that and take a look at stuff. Yeah, sure, let's do that while we're here. We'll give a bank 1, sensor 1, fuel, and wow, got a lot of good stuff. Coolant temp. So it's a very complete 217 PIDs. Engine speed. I mean, just look at it. Boy, there is a ton. I will say that's one of the most complete PID listings I have seen. We'll go to O2 sensor bank 2. Short-term fuel trim. Maybe throttle position. And that ought to do it, right? So we'll go into that and we'll hit OK, and that will bring us up. And here we are, right? I can move some of this. I'll rev the engine a little bit. We can show okay, so as far as the speed, while this may not be the fastest computer for getting into these systems, that's a really nice responsive. I like that. And then we can change those to graph mode, it looks like here. And we can also min-max that thing, right? If we want to set a value, minimum will make 900. Oh, that's 9,000 will make for maximum. That's right. So we can change that. It's saying it's falling behind it. Wow, that is annoying as all get out, but I get it. So if you were driving and you don't want to look at this stuff while it's happening, you set your minimum throttle or minimum RPM in this case, or whatever sensor you're looking at. And it'll beep when it tells you, hey, there's something wrong here. So that's pretty cool, actually. It's certainly loud enough to get your attention. A little too loud for my ears, anyway. And so there's, O2 sensor. We can get some movement out of that as well. That's nice. So we do have those. I like that. And we can save that. We can record it. So I'm pretty impressed with the fact that it's easy enough. It lets you know that it's happening. It saves that file, and we can file a report on that and just say, okay, yeah, look at that. Very cool. I don't think I've ever seen another scan tool that had that going on there, so that's cool. And then again, you can save that, or you can send it off if you want to. That's awesome. All right, let me get out of data stream. So engine-wise, you know, like, that's pretty cool. Now I have the car running, but let's take a look at actuation test. Holy moly, yes. So we have a really, really good list of things we can turn on and off with this. If we had the car turned off, starter relay to listen to if it's firing off. I mean, you got a lot. Control fuel pump, intake control valves. Awesome. Okay, so that's good. No, we don't want to do that because we've got the engine running. Special functions, let's go in here. So we can do throttle matching, evap system. We can run a manual test. We could check the VIN to see if maybe somebody had tampered with this, which would suck, right? Readiness codes, and I don't know, we'll go into customized settings. So we do have some, right? So we have air conditioning, warning lights, wipers, security, wireless door locks, power windows, illuminated entry, display, compass calibration, and seat. So we do have a lot of cool stuff here. I don't know what to display. Let's take a look if that shows up with anything as well. Now yeah, there's some of this stuff, like, you're not going to have any way of changing it around, but I was hoping the warning would, but it says you can't get into that. So let's see what the security says. This car locks. Warning by glass sensor, warning by horn. Okay, cool. So it's just ways you can change the alarm system around. We want the car to lock when we get in it, so we have that. It automatically works really well. And you can also set it so if you leave the car unlocked, it'll lock after a certain amount of time. These are things you can change. All right, let's get out of this. And let's get into something else. Let's see here. Let's get into the BCM and see what it has to do. Because, you know, a lot of tools can get into the main computer, but how about those little secondaries and thirdaries and fourthendaries? You know what I mean? All right, so our data stream here, all lock, unlock, we'll go with that one. Entry time delay, front log, fog light switch. These are just ones I want to see if it gets it, you know. Let's see, mirror left, up, down. Right, let's go with those few right there, and let's just see if we can get a response out of these. All right, so we got a few of these loaded up. I'm just gonna move the mirror up and down just to show you. There you go. We can see the mirrors coming on and off there. Let's see, left. Yeah, so you can see those working. Again, you could do it if I wanted to see that in a graph form. On and off, right? Pretty cool. All right, let's back out of that, and let's see if there's any. We have actuation tests here, so let's see if we can control something with this. All right, yeah, cool. All right, let's see what we got here. So I want to, let's see here, door lock. Let's see if we can turn the door locks on and off. Okay, so value is, you can see here, lock and unlock, right? So I'm gonna hit the lock button, unlock. So bidirectional controls are working, and most importantly, they're working in the subsystems. And I love that. So we have also wireless codes we can do. I'll get out of this system here. Let's see what other systems we can get ourselves into trouble with here. We got mirrors. I don't want to mess with that. Let's see what that one is. Oh no, we don't want to mess with the back door. Rear left door. Combo meter. We got our air conditioning. Right rear door, driver's seat has a bunch of programming you can do. Our mirrors, mirror right, what's GWS? Gateway system. Let's get into that and see what it does. And then we'll probably, so this is just allowing us to read, so no codes there, okay. All right, and you know, pretty darn cool, honestly, gotta say. So we get in there, we can change a lot of this stuff. Let's take a look at vehicle coverage. All right, and like if I go to all, let's demo mode, we have just generic OBD2, and then all the big names are here, right? Audi, Acura, Bentley, BMW, Buick, Cadillac, Chevrolet, Chrysler, Suzuki, Citroen, Daewoo, Daihatsu, Dodge, Ford, Ferrari, Fiat, I mean, you name it. Genesis, which is Hyundai's fancy brand now. I don't know how well they're doing, honestly. Holden, Honda, Hyundai. Infiniti, Isuzu. I mean, the list goes on, right? Kia's there, of course. Lamborghini, Range Rover, Land Rover, Mahindra. Mitsubishi's in there. Rolls Royce. I mean, the list goes on. The list goes on. The list goes on. VinFast is even in there. VinFast is the electric car company from Vietnam. They bulldozed my old house to put an off-ramp there, but I guarantee you VinFast never builds that facility in Chatham County. It's September 14th in 2024. I don't care how many years in the future you're watching this video. I promise you they won't have built it. Waste of time and money. So we've gone through diagnostics, intelligent diagnostics. OBD2 is just our generic. I showed you maintenance inside. TPMS, it says, we'll get to that later. They haven't come out with a module yet. And so here are some of the modules you can have for it. We have a thermal printer, a work light, a thermal imager, a videoscope, a batteries tester, and a oscilloscope. Oscilloscope would be the one that I'm most interested in testing out when that comes out. I like to play with that some. A lot of these scan tools just don't offer that, and it'll be nice when that happens. Of course, you can do updates and whatnot. You know what I'm not seeing, what I don't see in here is I don't see a way to get into the subsystem like the Android system itself. So it looks like this is a locked tool, and that's kind of a bummer. Actually, it's a huge bummer because it's nice to be able to get into that subsystem. Let me see if I pull down. Yeah, even this really, you know, we can get into snapshots, pictures, and rotate and just volume. So it's kind of blocking a lot of that access to those other systems. So if I was going to ding this for anything, it's that, and I know why manufacturers do it. They're trying to protect their software, and they also don't want you downloading or sideloading apps or something like that could cause this thing to be damaged. But this tool is a perfect example of a tool that you could run, a technician could run their shop software off of. Vehicle inspection reports, that kind of thing, where they're taking photos and tracking tickets and stuff like that. So it really is. It's got a fast enough processor. It's got a really good camera on it and a nice big crisp screen. But they kind of block you from being able to do that. And I wish if there were anything they were going to change, that it would be that. Anyway, it is the Ancel DS700. I can say I'm pleasantly surprised. The quality of the product. Nice case, nice large screen. It's a really huge step up from the Ancel X7. So, I mean, it's definitely a professional tool, while the other one was probably your weekender tool aimed at. And it gets into the systems. I mean, you know, we were able to do bidirectional controls on some pretty low-level stuff like the mirrors and the locks and things that, you know, not main computer stuff, but like those little computers that are everywhere on these cars. So I like it. I like it. I'll leave a link to where you can get one of these babies. And until next time, my friends, take care.